But SmackDown on Friday night was in Portland, Oregon. Again, shout out to Paul Hamilton in the front row representing the Sound Off. This SmackDown show currently stands at a 2.17 rating out of 10 on cagematch.net. And I know it's Cage Match, but I saw someone post that online, and I hadn't watched the show yet, and I just said, man, was it really that bad? Because I only got back from Chicago yesterday at like 5 o'clock. I hadn't watched it yet. But that score would make it one of the lowest rated WWE shows of all time. And now having seen it, yes, the internet was being a little over dramatic. I have seen far worse. I have seen worse WWE shows in just the last couple of months, let alone all time. But then we get to the main event. The show was really built around Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. As Sammy said, Cody lost in the Elimination Chamber, but he got a title match because Drew got involved, which Drew has done time and time and time again. And so he said, enough is enough. We're going to do this match on SmackDown this week, and you're going to put your championship on the line. And they had a Drew McIntyre Cody Rhodes match. Like it was a good match. If you've seen one Cody Rhodes Drew McIntyre match, going back to the matches they had last year, you've basically seen them all. And we've seen a lot of them going back to WrestlePalooza. But late in the match, Cody cleared off the announce desk. He was going to try something on top of the desk. He took McIntyre on top, about to hit Crossroads. And Drew was able to get out of it, and the table ended up collapsing under their weight, which doesn't happen very often these days, the way they reinforce these tables. So to make up for the blown spot, Cody went and he pulled a Slim Jim table out from under the ring, and McIntyre ended up attacking him. He set the table up, and then he just put Cody through it with a powerbomb. So the fans were able to get their table spot. So in the ring, and by the way, now that I think about it, this was not a no disqualification match. I'm not sure why that wouldn't have been a DQ. But in the ring, McIntyre put Rhodes in position for a Crossroads. He was going to give him his own Crossroads. And did, but it wasn't enough. He set him up for a Claymore. That got blocked. Cody decided to hit a Claymore of his own. Not a very good one, but he hit a Claymore for a near fall. So there were two different situations here where Charles Robinson was able to avoid sure doom. Unfortunately, the third time, there was no avoiding it. And McIntyre pulled him in the way of a disaster kick. And down goes Charles Robinson. He rolls out to the floor. And so, of course, it all leads to a spot where he hits the Claymore kick on Cody. He got a near fall out of it, but there was a delay prior to that because it took time for another referee to come out. So he throws Cody into the post a couple of times, shoulder first. Then he turns his attention to the new referee, and he hits him with a Glasgow kiss, just headbutts him out of frustration. He leaves the ring, he grabs a chair, gets back in the ring, and before he could use the chair, Jacob Fatu magically appears. He grabs the chair away from Drew. And Cody rolled him up, only got a near fall. McIntyre hit Future Shock, and he had Cody in position after this for a Claymore. Cody moved out of the way, and then he hit a Super Cody Cutter, and then one Crossroads, and that's all she wrote. And I know people are going to look at that and go, man, it makes Drew look so weak. It only took one Crossroads to beat him. Good. You got to start somewhere. It's about time that Cody actually used his finish as a fucking finish. I can't hate on that. But that was it. Cody Rhodes got the pin, and Cody Rhodes is now a 3-time WWE champion. He will defend the title against Randy Orton one-on-one, at least we presume one-on-one, at WrestleMania. You know, we can't discount the possibility that it still may not end up being a multi-man match, but as things stand, it looks like a singles match. Now, per Bodyslam.net, sources indicate that discussions began regarding Orton against Rhodes around the beginning of February to shake things up for WrestleMania season and give a payoff to the teases over the last few years. I want you to think about that. Years they've been teasing this. Rhodes and McIntyre did not officially find out about the change until last week. McIntyre is set to begin filming for the movie Highlander immediately after WrestleMania. So regardless whether he went into WrestleMania as the champion or not, it seemed pretty clear Drew McIntyre was not leaving WrestleMania as the WWE champion. That was just never going to happen. And Fightful Select chimed in and said one of the reasons the WWE title was taken off of Cody Rhodes in the first place was that so he could be featured in the Royal Rumble and the Elimination Chamber matches, adding to the draw of those shows. And that's one of the keys here, is that, you know, you're looking ahead in TKO, they have tickets to sell, they have shows that they have to promote. And it was just more appealing to them to be like, you know what? Taking the belt off of him for a little bit might not be such a bad idea, because then we have Cody in the Rumble. And maybe he three-peats. And then we can have Cody in the Chamber, right? Ooh, it's his last opportunity to go to WrestleMania. And then if he doesn't win the Chamber, oh my God, how's Cody going to get in the title match? That's it, right? So absolutely, I can believe that was part of their calculus here as far as, hey, you know what? Might not be such a bad idea to get the belt off him for a while. And this title change here, this is really where the low cage match score comes from. To say nothing of all the dislikes that one person botted on the WWE YouTube video showing the title change. This guy posted a receipt online. I don't even think his account is active anymore. But he posted a receipt online showing it cost him $250 to bot 65,000 dislikes on that video. He bought 65,000 dislikes for $250. Like, if any of that is even true, like, how much of a loser do you need to be to do something like that? But that's where it all comes from. It comes from people being upset that they put the belt back on Cody. And this is their way of lashing out and review bombing. And look, sending a message to WWE that they're not happy about it. As far as putting the belt back on Cody, I'm fine with it. I would have been fine with it if they would have kept the belt on Drew going into WrestleMania. I'm kind of indifferent to all of it at this point. Everything just seems so haphazardly planned out that, you know, this is where we are right now. I would have been fine with either scenario, but Cody winning the belt back does not make me mad. It does not bother me the way it seems to bother some other people. And this is what I think some fans have to be reminded about, is that for months, many of us, myself included, were harping on the booking of Drew McIntyre in this feud with Cody Rhodes, and he just kept losing, right? Every opportunity he would lose. He talks a big talk, but then he can't go in there and win the big one. And when they announced that 3 stages of hell match for Germany at the beginning of January, I said it's do or die for Drew McIntyre. Like, he has to win the belt here. Even if he gets a short run, and this is what I said, and a lot of people said the same thing. Even if it's a short run, how are you going to beat him again, right? You got to at least put the belt on him, shake things up a little bit on the road to WrestleMania. What's the harm in doing that? And that's what they did. They finally put the championship on Drew McIntyre, and now here we are 2 months later, and he lost the belt back to Cody. And a lot of these people now, who I'm sure were probably saying things very similar to that 2 months ago, are now bitching and moaning about the fact that, oh my God, I can't believe they took the belt off Drew and they put it back on Cody. When you knew that if they put the belt on Drew, it was only going to be temporary. And there were a lot of people who were okay with it then who probably suddenly are not okay with it. And it's not like Drew did anything in this run to really win you over. He defended the title one fucking time before losing it to Cody on Friday. He had 2 total defenses. What did you expect? Sure, maybe they could have allowed him to go into WrestleMania as the champion. Okay, fine. But you knew from the moment he won the belt, it was going to be temporary. You wanted the belt off of Cody. They took the belt off of Cody, and now you're upset they put the belt back on him? You mean to tell me you did not see this coming? Like, if you are one of those people, you can't be okay with putting the belt on Drew, even if it's only for a couple of months, and then a couple of months go by and he loses it, and you're all bent out of shape. Like, it's totally fine if you're sick and tired of seeing Cody Rhodes as the champion, or you don't want Cody to be in another WrestleMania main event, although he's got some catching up to do if he wants to catch up to Roman. But that's fine. I'm not saying that you should not be upset or tired of seeing Cody in that spot. I feel it too. You know, there's definitely some Cody fatigue there, but look, when he won that championship on Friday, it wasn't like he was booed out of the building in Portland. Those fans cheered. I'm sure part of it was they were just excited to see a world title change, but it wasn't like they were booing Cody out of the building and rejecting this win. You know, they were with him. Now are they going to be with him in the feud with Randy? That's a different story. I definitely think the reactions are going to be a hell of a lot more mixed. And maybe they'll even lean more towards Randy, and that's fine. You got two baby faces. So what you're doing now is you're telling the fans, like, you pick and choose who you want. You got two baby faces here. It's probably one of the reasons why they didn't want to do babyface John Cena against babyface Cody Rhodes last year and split the crowd, right? They didn't want to split the baby. That's what they're going to be doing here, because if anybody is going heel, and I don't know if they are, it's not happening until WrestleMania. It shouldn't happen until WrestleMania. Whether it's Cody, I don't think it's going to be Cody. I think it's a lot more likely to be Randy, but whoever it is, if someone is going heel, you have it happen at WrestleMania, either during the match or when the match is over. So now we have babyface against babyface, and the fans are going to have the ability to choose. But Cody and Randy, there's a lot of history there. There is. There is a story to be told. I can't sit here and tell you that there's some rich story now with Cody and Randy. There's history between them. Whether or not WWE decides to tell the right story is up in the air. Just because two people have history together, that in and of itself is not a story. You still have to tell that story. You have to bring up that when Cody came into the company, one of the first people he wrestled with was Randy Orton, and he was on the same side. Randy took him under his wing as part of Legacy and then cast him away. Right? There's a lot of history there. And then when he came back to the company, right, they've been like best friends ever since. And he's not a stupid man. He's seen Randy peeking over at the championship and, you know, spying on the title at various points. Like, if they tell the right story, it can be very compelling. That's going to be up to, you know, Levesque and the Smackdown team and whoever is leading that team now. If they would have kept the belt on Drew, I think the Fatal 4-Way would have made all the sense in the world this year. Because one of the more interesting things about SmackDown of late is the fact that there have been these issues between all of these people around the title. Drew hates Cody. Cody hates Drew. Drew hates Jacob. Jacob hates Cody and Drew. Randy Orton just wants to win the belt back. He doesn't like Drew. He's friends with Cody. He's indifferent towards Jacob. And then there's Sami Zayn, who just is begging to win a world championship, but just hasn't been able to pull the trigger. Where does he fit into all this? And it's like, okay, you've got all of these different personalities. Sammy would be the odd man out of a Fatal 4-Way, but you could do Cody and Drew and Jacob and Randy all in the same match. They've made the decision that we don't want to do that. Seemingly, it's going to be one-on-one. And I'm fine with that. And that would make it very likely that Drew McIntyre instead would wrestle Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania. Sami Zayn, again, maybe Trick Williams. Otherwise, I'm not really sure where he fits into the equation here. The one change I would have made, Drew McIntyre should have won the championship earlier than he did. He should have won the title either at WrestlePalooza to really make a statement on that first ESPN show, or at Survivor Series, instead of the two of them just being thrown into the War Games match, which they really had nothing to do with anything as far as what was going on there. Survivor Series might have made more sense, just so you don't have Cody win the belt back from John Cena at SummerSlam and then just lose it again the very next month. So he should have absolutely won the championship earlier than he did in 3 Stages of Hell. That's the one change I would have made. But as far as a WrestleMania main event goes, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, this is a match that should have been done a long time ago. This was not part of some grand plan where it's like, okay, we have this really, you know, great idea where we're going to hold off on the match for like 2 fucking years. And then at WrestleMania 42, we're going to come to Cody. Like, no. It landed in their lap and they made the decision that now is the right time to do the match. And it's a match I've been waiting for them to do. Is it a night 1 WrestleMania main event worthy match or night 2? Is it a WrestleMania main event worthy match? Yes. And the Fatal 4-Way would have been also. And that could have been fun. But I don't have an issue with them doing Cody and Randy. It's a match I've been waiting for them to do. I don't understand why it took this long to get there. But here we are.